Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to figure out if a company is playing 4D chess or just forgot where they put their keys today. We are diving into a company called Mural Oncology PLC, and their recent filing that might signal some big changes are on the horizon. So what is this Mural document all about? Well, it is a current report that companies file when something significant happens, something that shareholders need to know about pretty quickly. And what happened? Well, it looks like Mural Oncology held a special meeting for its shareholders, specifically to vote on a proposed acquisition. This means another company wants to buy Mural Oncology outright. The buyer is a company called Accession Royalty Corporation, and it is planning to acquire all of Mural Oncology shares through a special legal maneuver in Ireland called the Scheme of Arrangement. Now, this acquisition is a big deal for a couple of reasons. First, it means a significant change in who owns Mural Oncology. Second, it signals a shift in strategy or perhaps an exit for current investors. Mural Oncology's main stock, called Ordinary Shares, trades on the Nasdaq Global Market under the ticker symbol MURA. Interestingly, the company has checked a box stating, it is an emerging growth company. This means it is allowed to follow some less strict reporting rules than larger established companies. But it is also elected not to use extended transition periods for new accounting standards, which suggests they want to keep up with reporting changes. Now let's get to the juicy part, the shareholder votes. This is where we see if the investors are on board with this whole acquisition plan. First up was the scheme meeting, the main event to vote on the acquisition itself. They had a proposal to agree to the scheme of arrangement in its current form, or with any modifications approved by the court. And the results are in for Proposal 1. At the scheme meeting, a whopping 10,103,706 shares voted in favour. That is a huge majority. Only 81,149 shares voted against it, and get this, only 52,031 shares abstained, meaning shareholders chose not to vote. This shows pretty strong support for the deal from the shareholders who voted. There were no broker non-votes, which usually indicate shares where the broker did not have instructions to vote. Looking at the number of shareholders themselves, even more impressive. 8 out of 9 shareholders voted for it, which is over 99% of those voting. This is a clear signal that the people who actually own the company are on board with selling it. There was also a proposal about adjourning the meeting, but it wasn't even needed because Proposal 1 got enough votes. This tells us the company felt confident they had the votes to pass the main acquisition proposal. Next was the Extraordinary General Meeting, or EGM, where shareholders also voted on related measures. Proposal 1 here was to approve the scheme of arrangement and give the directors the power to finalize everything, and again the shareholders overwhelmingly agreed, with 10,607,228 shares voting for it, and a very small number against. This confirms the shareholders want this deal to go through. Then there was Proposal 2, which was about amending the company's Articles of Association. This is basically a technical step to make sure that any new shares issued before the acquisition closes would also be included in the deal. And once again, the shareholders approved this with 10,647,967 votes in favour. This is all about smoothing out the process to make sure Accession Royalty gets everything they are buying. Just like before, there was a proposal to adjourn the meeting if needed, but it wasn't necessary because the other proposals passed with flying colours. So what does all this mean for the future of Mural Oncology? Based on these shareholder approvals, the acquisition is expected to be completed during the fourth quarter of 2025. This is contingent on satisfying all the usual closing conditions and getting the final approval from the High Court of Ireland. Now, no corporate announcement is complete without some important notices and warnings. This section is about forward-looking statements. These are basically predictions about the future, like when they expect the deal to close, they remind us that these statements are based on current expectations, and that actual results could be very different due to risks and uncertainties. It is a standard disclaimer basically saying they hope it happens as planned, but there are no guarantees. The directors of Mural Oncology are stepping up and taking responsibility for the information in this report. They are saying they believe everything is accurate and doesn't leave out anything important. This part is a deep dive into the Irish takeover rules. It is super technical and lays out who needs to disclose what when they are trading or have an interest in the company's securities during this offer period. Essentially, if you own 1% or more of Mural Oncology stock and you buy or sell any of it, you have to report that very quickly to the Irish takeover panel. This is to ensure transparency and prevent market manipulation during the takeover process. Finally, they mentioned that a copy of this communication will be put on the company's investor relations website. This is standard practice to make sure information is accessible to everyone. And that is it for the official filing. The signature block here is just confirming who signed off on this report, making it official. Mike and Kaysen. Brooks, the chief legal officer, has signed off on this report, indicating the legal side of things is buttoned up. So what is the story here? Mural Oncology's shareholders have overwhelmingly approved an offer from Soma Royalty. This is a strong vote of confidence from investors who clearly see value in this deal. Perhaps they believe ex-Soma Royalty is offering a fair price, or they see a better future for Mural Oncology under new ownership. The risks here are pretty standard for an acquisition. For instance, there is the possibility that the High Court of Ireland might not approve the scheme of arrangement, or that other closing conditions aren't met. Although with such strong shareholder support, these seem less likely. The main opportunity is the successful completion of the acquisition. It means Mural Oncology as an independent entity will cease to exist, likely becoming part of Exoma Royalty's larger operations. This could lead to synergies and potentially unlock more value for shareholders than Mural Oncology could achieve on its own. Overall, this filing basically tells us that Mural Oncology is on its way to being acquired. The shareholder vote was a massive success, and the next steps involve court approval and fulfilling any remaining conditions. It looks like Soma Royalty is getting what they want, and the current shareholders are happy to sell. What is your take on this acquisition? Are you bullish on Exoma Royalty's strategy, or do you think Mural Oncology had more potential as a standalone company? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Corporate Decoder for more insights into the world of business and finance. Don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.